So before we go too crazy, let's take a look at some really real simple things and put a couple of notes down here about logs that you need to know. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph this. So I got my calculator ready to go. I'm going to graph 10 to the power of x, and I want to see what this looks like on the graph here. So it looks basically like this. So I'm going to put this on my graph, right on this guy right here, okay? And it's going to look something like this. We know that. But I'm curious as to see, what does a log look like on a graph? Okay, so I'm going to take a log of x. Okay, now notice that your calculator does not put the little 10 down here like that. Actually, every log on your calculator is automatically a base 10. It's automatically got the 10 there. So you don't have to put log base 10. It does it for you. Hit graph and watch this. The log base 10 starts down here and does this. What's really, really cool is get this. Look at that. In other words, they're inverses of each other. Isn't that interesting? Let's put a couple things down here. You know and I know that the log of y equals, or I should say the graph of y equals 10 to the power of x approaches 0 but never ever gets there. So this guy could never equal to 0. We call it a horizontal asymptote. Well, how does this relate to this guy? How does this relate to this guy? Well, basically is this. Look at how this guy approaches 0 and never touches it. So in other words, like this cannot equal to 0, that means, guess what? That can't be 0. You could never take a log of any base of 0 because that's going to give you error on your calculator. Let me prove that to you. Boot up the calculator here. Let's get rid of this graph. And let's take the log of 0 and watch what happens. Enter. Boom. Error. Okay? You can't do it. It won't allow you to do that. So the conclusion is this. This could never equal to 0. And the conclusion here also is that this x can never be 0 either. Okay? So that's kind of important to realize.